Welcome my students, welcome to my today's topic. Today our topic will be on introduction to IT industry. Okay, so actually we know that computers have established themselves as an indispensable part in various segments of human life, such as business, academics, defense strategy, budget, research, engineering, everywhere, medicine, space. So we depend on computers for everything now, from paying electric bills to withdrawing money from bank and so on. So today we can access information on any topic instantly from any place with the help of computers. Okay. So now technological convergence has almost changed our life by changing the nature and the means we adopt to deal with communication, work and entertainment. Okay. So in the first session we'll learn about the computer. Okay, so at first we are defining a computer in session 1. So we know basically a computer is an electronic device which is used to perform a variety of operations on the basis of set of instructions that are called program. Okay, so a computer takes input from the user in the form of data or instructions first. Then, on receiving the instruction from the user, the computer processes the data and generates some output and then displays it to the user on the output screen or output unit. So, when computer processes data, it becomes information. Okay, so here is the figure of computer. Sorry, the description of data, information, hardware and software are as follows. Number 1 is understanding data. Data denotes unprocessed raw facts and figures such as a number or a name. A computer can accept data in various formats such as text, numbers, audio, video and images. Okay. Then understanding information. So when a computer processes data and converts it into form that is useful and meaningful to the user, it becomes information. Now understanding hardware. Actually computer hardware refers to the physical parts of a computer. Physical parts refer to those parts of devices that we can touch, like keyboard, mouse, monitor, CPU. Okay, and at last understanding software. So what is software? So software can be defined as a set of programs necessary to carry out operations for a particular job. In simple words, software refers to the set of instructions that tell a computer how to perform a given task. Okay, sorry, so look at the picture. Okay, so the structure of a computer which is component is shown here. Okay, so computer consists of various components such as system unit, monitor, mouse and keyboard. Okay, so the main component of a computer are explained like that way. So one unit is system unit that consists of various smaller components such as motherboard, hard disks, RAM, that means random access memory, CPU, central processing unit and sound card. Okay, then it comes about monitor. It displays the output of a computer. It is a television like equipment which can be CRT, that means cathode ray tube, LCD, liquid crystal display and LED, light emitting diode. Okay, next one is mouse. So it refers to a pointing device that perfectly fits in your palm and always allows you to perform certain activities on the screen, such as clicking a button and placing the cursor at a specific location. Then it is keyboard that refers to a device that contains keys to feed information into a computer. Then speakers and at last speaker. So it is also a output device which is used to give the output as a sound. Okay. Okay. Next is we are introducing the central processing unit. So central processing unit, that is CPU, is a physical device that controls computer operations. So it is known as the brain of a computer system, as it controls all the operations of a computer on the basis of instruction specified by a user. Okay, so it looks like a small chip and is placed on the motherboard. Now the figure given here illustrates the basic functionality of a computer. Okay, so here at first input device such as keyboard and mouse sends the instruction to the computer. Then in the CPU there are two units, basically control unit and ALU, arithmetic logical unit, processes the information stored in the main memory. Okay, then the main memory saves the current instruction what to be done currently, and at last it displays the processed information as output. Okay, via output device such as monitor, printer. Okay, next is introducing CPU. So CPU means central processing unit. The given figure shows a CPU. So the typical component of CPUs are number 1 ALU, arithmetic logical unit, and number 2 control unit. So ALU performs arithmetic and logical operations, and control unit extracts information from the computer memory, decodes and executes instructions, and takes help of ALU if required. Okay. So the speed of CPU is measured in megahertz or gigahertz. Mega MHz or gigahertz GHz. Okay. Okay. Now we will be learning about the arithmetic logical unit. Already we have learned that ALU is the arithmetic logical unit. So it is a digital circuit that is used to execute arithmetic and logical operation in a computer, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, and logical operations include greater than, less than, greater, equal to, not equal to, equal to. Okay, so therefore whenever a computer performs arithmetic operations or makes a comparison, CPU activates the ALU. Okay, so the result of any arithmetic and logical operations is stored in the computer memory. Okay, and for control unit, the control unit of CPU supervises and monitors the functions performed by the entire computer system. Okay, so a special program called supervisor is responsible for controlling the system operations. The instructions in each program are transferred one at a time to the control unit. The circuitry of the control unit in turn interprets and executes the instructions. So when you provide any input, the control unit determines the type of the instruction, and according to the nature of the instruction, the control unit guides the arithmetic logical unit or input output device. Okay, so this flowchart here depicts the functioning of the control unit. Okay, so at first start, then it takes the variable as x and y, then choose if x is greater than y or not. If it is greater than, then it displays x is greater. It is not, if it is not greater, then it displays y is greater, and stop. Okay, so likewise the picture control unit works in the computer. Okay, so control unit controls the process. Now we'll be learning about the working of a computer. So already we know that it takes input, then process, and then gives the output. So a computer follows the input process output model. Okay. Input refers to the process of feeding data or taking data or instruction in a computer. Then process refers to the work done by the computer with the help of hardware and software. And at last, output refers to the result that is obtained when the computer processes the input. So the figure here shows the basic functioning of a computer. So at first input unit sends the data and comments to the computer, then CPU unit or central processing unit processes the data as per the given command, and then output unit displays the processed information as output. Now we are dealing with working of a computer. So here is a picture that shows the comparison between mixer and a computer. Okay, so as mixer grinder first takes the raw data. Suppose we want to make cold coffee. Okay, so at first we have to give the ingredients of cold coffee into the mixer. So like in computer also we have to give the input to the computer system by using keyboard and mouse. Then in the mixer grinder, if we press the button, then the mixer grinder starts mixing the ingredients. Okay, so likewise in computer also it takes the input using the input device like keyboard mouse. Okay, and then CPU starts processing data, instruction given to display the result. So after pressing the button in mixer grinder, it processes and at last it gives the cold coffee as a result. So in computer also, after giving the input to the computer, it get processed and then it gives the result as the output. Okay, got it? Okay, so next one is the application of a computer. So nowadays computer has become a portable device and a part and a parcel of our life. So we can see application of computers almost everywhere, whether it is home, office, school, hospital or any other place. So computer have become a necessity for performing various kinds of business activities such as billing, budgeting, accounting and reporting. Okay, and also nowadays most household have their own personal computer PCs. Having a computer at home enables us to do a variety of tasks such as online shopping, banking, playing games and listening to music. Also it helps in accounting. Most of the enterprises and business organizations implement a ledgering system and accounting system by using this software like Tally. Okay, also we can use computer for customer interaction. These days computers have become an important asset for customer care centers or call centers. So computer handle activities such as answering customer questions, offering assistance and keeping record of payments. Okay, so also it has the application in communication also. So computer provides wide range of communication technologies such as email, chat, web conferencing and also voice over internet protocol. Okay, in advertising, websites provides a platform for sharing information about persons, organizations and institutions. In addition, advertising and marketing using computers and the internet provide a swift means to promote business at a global platform like www.amazon.com. Okay, so computer plays a vital role in the field of medicine and healthcare also. Okay, and also it has the role in developing projects, displaying information, preparing reports for education, and also it is used in research for experiment, design and develop projects. Okay, and also it has the useful effects in engineering. Okay, so complex structures such as structure of building are designed, prepared and configured by using computer aids. So 3D objects usually designed, flipped, rotated, resized, examined and viewed by using computer software known as CAD, computer aided design. Okay, so we can say that the domain of computer applications are in different areas. Okay, it has the application in law enforcement, government, governance, manufacturing, military, music and also film and television. Okay, go to the next slide. Now we will be discussing about the features and limitation of a computer. So some features of a computer are like speed, accuracy, storage capacity, reliability, consistency and so computer performs their function as a greater speed and have the capability of processing even the most complex computation in a matter of second. Accuracy, it gives the accuracy. Okay, the storage capacity of a computer defines how much information can be stored in it. Okay, reliability, the electronic components in modern computers make them more reliable as they rarely break or fail. Okay, so all these features are very important for computer, but it has some limitations also, like no power to make decision. So computers are unable to take their decisions own. No IQ, computers are machines that do not have self intelligence. Okay, and no heuristics, computers are not able to learn from their past experiences. Okay, next slide. Now we will be discussing about the type of computers. So here you can see that what are the types of computers. Now we will be dealing one by one. At first it is desktop computer. So basically a desktop computer is used in office or home. So depending upon their accessibility, portability and user friendliness, computer devices can be classified into many categories. So desktop computer is one. It can be used independently of any other computer. Therefore this computer is known as the PC. Next one is personal digital assistant, or it is known as the handheld computer. So personal digital assistant or PDA is a lightweight handheld computer designed to be used as a personal organizer. A typical PDA does not contain a conventional keyboard. Instead, it relies on recognition of handwritten input through the use of stylus. Okay, stylus is a special type of pen used to write text and select option on the LCD screen. Okay, next one is laptop. So a laptop is portable computer that is integrated with a display, screen, keyboard, trackball, processor and memory. Okay, next is a tablet. A tablet is a kind of microcomputer which offers a host of new features to the IT savvy world. Next one is smartphone. So it is basically a mobile phone that provides additional features to perform day-to-day tasks. Okay, next one is mainframe computer. So this type of computer is designed for multitasking and can be used by many users simultaneously. Mainframe can approximately provide up to 12 parallel 650 MHz processor, that is megahertz processors, 32 GB primary memory and several terabytes of disk storage. Okay, and the processing speed is very high. Okay, mainframe is an industry term for a large computer. Okay, next one is supercomputer. A supercomputer consists of a large number of processors and occupies a huge amount of space. Supercomputers can process trillions of operations per second. Okay, so it has the very high and fast level of computing. Okay, for example, the time consuming calculations that are used to create weather predictions are normally done by the supercomputers. Other areas where supercomputers are used include conducting fluid dynamic calculations, creating animated graphics, and conducting nuclear researches. Then is workstation. So the processing of a workstation is similar to that of the personal computers. However, workstations have greater memory and more extensive mathematical abilities. Workstations can be connected to other workstations or personal computers to exchange data. Generally, these types of computers are used where a high level of computational abilities is required, such as in scientific, industrial, and business environments. And last one is embedded computer. Okay, so you must have noticed that the circuits of appliances such as televisions and washing machines, in these appliances there is an inbuilt pre-programmed computer that performs some specific tasks. Okay, okay, so consider the example of automated washing machine in which the process of washing clothes starts automatically and continues for a specific time period. In this case, an automated program is embedded in the circuit of a washing machine to perform the automatic washing process. So, the services that are provided from remote locations with the use of information technology are known as the Information Technology Enabled Services or ITS. So, a traditional service plus IT equal to ITES. Okay. So, IT enabled services are also known as the web enabled services, remote services or networkings. So, ITES are generally provided over the telecom networks and help in improving the overall efficiency of an organization. ITES can also be defined as outsourcing of processes that can be enabled with information technology and covers diverse areas like finance, HR, administration, healthcare, telecommunication, and manufacturing. So, IT enabled services has reduced the cost of companies in providing services in a traditional manner. Okay, like BPO service, that means business process outsourcing service. Okay, so a business process is a simple set of defined tasks or activities in order to achieve organization goals. Okay, so here the third party service provider is the one who to whom business processes are outsourced, and the organization that outsource its processes, services, functions, tasks or responsibilities to the third party service provider is called client. Some example of BPO service are multimedia and design services, logistics services, document management services, healthcare services, software testing services. Okay. Next it is BPM industry in India. So BPM industry means business process management, that is BPM. So BPO service means business process outsourcing service, and BPM industry means business process management industry. So it is a systematic way of improving the business processes of an organization. Okay, it involves the appropriate monitoring and management of processes for ensuring that the operations of an organization do not get affected and run smoothly. Okay, so the main aim of the whole process of BPM, that means business process management, is to optimize the existing business processes to ensure improved performance, lower operation cost, improved efficiency and enhance effectiveness. Okay, okay, So the structure of companies falls under the IT BPM industry, and it is decided on the basis of some parameters like sector in which the company is serving, revenue and the size of the operation, global spread of operations, okay, and the kind of products or services the company is offering or providing. So the different categories of companies on the basis of preceding parameters like MNS, sorry, MNC, that is multinational companies. Okay, these companies have a global presence. Then ISP, Indian Service Provider, this organization have started operations in India, and most of them have their headquarters in India. And then GIC, that is Global In-House Centers. Okay, so one is MNC, multinational company. Then it is ISP, Indian Service Providers, and at last it is GIC, Global In-House Centers. It handles the requirement of the parent organizations only and do not cater to external clients. Okay. Now the convergence of technologies. So the technological convergence denotes merging of two or more existing technologies to invent a completely new technology with multiple benefits. Okay, so the term technological convergence gained popularity in the 20th century with the emergence of computers, internets, and mobile phones. Okay, okay. A smartphone combines formerly separated technologies such as voice, data, and video, and make them operate on a single platform. Okay, so in a smartphone, these technologies work as a shared resource and interrelated with each other. Okay, so technological convergence can be defined as a practice by which information technology, telecommunication, and media sectors that previously functioned autonomously are brought together to work on a common platform. Okay. Now it is 3 Cs of technologies convergence. Okay. Earlier, radio, television, telephone, print media, and computer were considered as separate entities. However, the emerging trend of technological convergence has led to the merging of many technologies. Number one, computing, then content and communications into a single system. The merger of these three technologies is referred to as the 3 Cs of technological convergence. One is computing, then content, and then communication. Okay, computing refers to the design and construction of computers to perform various type of tasks. Content refers to any type of meaningful data or information that is expressed through some medium such as speech, writing, or image. And communications refer to the interaction of multiple computers over a network to share data. Okay, okay, got it. Now it is the types of technological convergence. Depending on the technologies involved, convergence can be of following term, can be of the different types. Number one, digital convergence, then messaging convergence, and media convergence, then content convergence. Okay, so digital convergence refers to the merger of the internet, telecommunication, and leisure industries. Messaging convergence refers to the integration of text and voice message. Media convergence has greatly impact our life and even transform the way we perform our routine activities. That is the media convergence. Okay, for example, earlier we used a video player to play videos, a tape recorder to play music, and an FM tuner to play radio. However, now we can enjoy all these services on a single device. Okay, and last of all, it is content convergence. It refers to the integration of content from various sources on the internet. For example, various content media such as advertising, billboards, magazines, newspaper, radio stations, and television provide content on specific internet websites. Okay, thank you.